The unexpected rain outdoors. Clouds roll in. The family is walking together when light rain begins. Dad looks up. Mom pulls the kids closer. The rain grows heavier. The family runs to take shelter under a large tree. Under the tree, they notice a small, soaked kitten, shivering. The kids crouch down gently, eyes wide with concern. Mom drapes her jacket over the kitten to keep it dry. Dad gently rubs its back. The rain stops. The family walks nearby with the kitten. A worried person runs into view, looking around anxiously. They spot the kitten, relief and joy. The person hugs the kitten and bows politely to the family. The person returns holding a basket of fresh fruit. They offer it with a grateful smile. The kids' eyes light up. Mom and Dad hesitate politely, then accept with smiles. The family walks home, sharing fruit happily. The kids laugh and munch. Dad sets a phone tablet on the counter and plays a cooking tutorial video. On the screen, a calm chef, spotless kitchen, smooth movements. Dad nods confidently. Dad looks at the screen, looks at the pan. On the video, neatly chopping vegetables. In real life, Dad chops. Vegetables scatter onto the floor. Dad glances back at the screen, still confident. On the video, low heat, no smoke. In real life, smoke fills the kitchen. The stove beeps, beep, beep. Dad coughs and waves his hands, trying to fan the smoke away. Mom walks into the kitchen. She stops, silently observes. Messy counter smoke everywhere. Dad covered in splatters. The video still playing calmly. Mom crosses her arms, says nothing. Quick cuts, video screen, a perfect dish. Real life, a burnt pan and messy stove. Dad looks at the screen, looks at the pan, smiles awkwardly. The secret camping trip. The two kids are fast asleep in bed. Mom and Dad look at each other and signal, "Let's go!" They tiptoe quietly, grab their backpacks, and sneak out of the house. Outside at night, Mom and Dad set up a small tent and turn on a warm yellow light. They sit across from each other, eating grilled food and laughing comfortably. Back at home, one child stirs and wakes up, looks at the other bed, empty. The two kids grab small flashlights and quietly sneak outside. From far away, they spot the glow of a tent light. They hide behind some bushes and peek in. They see Mom and Dad happily eating. The two kids look at each other and get an idea. They drape white cloths over themselves and shine flashlights upward from below. From behind the tent, spooky ooh sounds are made. Mom and Dad jump in surprise and turn around. Dad drops the food. Mom clings to Dad. Both panic and hurriedly pack up. Abandon the tent. Run back home. The kids pull off the cloths, giggling. They run after Mom and Dad. Who's scared who? Bluey and Bingo peek from behind the couch, grinning mischievously. They put on silly ghost costumes, blanket plus paper eyes. The girls tiptoe dramatically. They giggle silently, covering their mouths. Dad walks by, relaxed, holding a snack. Bluey and Bingo jump out together. Arms up, ghost poses. Dad freezes, drops his snack. Trembles slightly. The girls exchange proud looks. Dad quietly grabs a blanket, turns off the lights, disappears. Bluey and Bingo look around, suddenly nervous. The room is silent. A shadow moves behind them. Suddenly, Dad jumps out wearing the blanket, making a big spooky pose. Bluey and Bingo scream silently and jump into the air. The girls run in circles. Dad chases them slowly, exaggerated and silly. Everyone slips and slides, but no one gets hurt. Bluey and Bingo hide behind Mom. Dad removes the blanket, laughing. The girls peek out, then laugh too. They all collapse onto the couch together. Where's the remote? The family sits in front of the TV. Dad presses a button. Nothing happens. He looks at his hand. No remote. Dad looks around the couch. Bluey and Bingo peer at the floor. Mom crosses her arms, thinking. Quick montage. Dad lifts couch cushions. Dust flies. Bluey reaches under the couch, pulls out toys. Bingo flips pillows. Empty. Mom opens drawers. Only spoons and napkins. Mom walks into the kitchen to get water. She opens the fridge. The fridge light turns on. The remote is inside. Mom freezes. Mom walks back holding the remote. The family stares in disbelief. Mom looks at the remote, then back toward the fridge. She gives an embarrassed smile. They sit back on the couch. Dad finally turns on the TV. Mom double checks it. Freeze frame on the family laughing. Sharing living room. Two kids are playing with their toys. Toys are scattered all over the floor. They start arguing over each toy, pulling back and forth, tense faces. No one wants to give in. Mom walks over, gentle but firm. She takes the toy from the son and gives it to the daughter. The daughter hugs the toy, happier. The son stands still, lowers his head, looking sad. Mom gently pats the son's head and walks away. Nighttime. The bedroom door opens quietly. Mom and Dad step in, carrying a big gift box. They set the box down. Open the lid. Inside is a box full of toys. The kids sit up suddenly, eyes shining. The son completely forgets his anger. Both kids laugh and reach into the box together. Dad puts an arm around Mom. The family sits close together, warm and happy. Dad holds the controller. The child holds a remote-controlled airplane. They look at each other, grinning with excitement. The airplane takes off, flying in circles, gliding past the sofa, looping around the light. The child points and cheers Dad pilots confidently. The airplane flies lower and faster. Dad keeps twisting the control stick. The child runs after it, laughing. The airplane starts to lose control. From the kitchen, Mom walks out, carrying a tray of food. At that exact moment, the plane zooms in. Mom! It hits Mom's arm. The food tray tilts. Mom freezes. Dad and the child stare, eyes wide. They both turn and run as fast as they can. One runs ahead, the other follows. The airplane falls to the floor and lies still. Mom stands there, hands on her hips. She watches them run, then sighs, shakes her head, and smiles softly. Hiding too well. The whole family stands in a circle. Mom is blindfolded, facing the wall. Dad and the two kids look at each other, smiling mischievously. Dad runs off quickly and hides behind the curtain. The sister hides behind the sofa. The brother looks around, then crawls under the bed, pulling a blanket with him. Mom turns around and starts searching. Mom pulls the curtain. Dad is found. Mom peeks behind the sofa. The sister is found. The two who are found stand to the side, giggling. Mom looks around. The brother is missing. She searches everywhere. Behind the door, behind the chairs. In another room, nothing. They look under the table, behind the cabinets. Suddenly, a very soft snoring sound is heard. The whole family turns. Under the bed, the brother has fallen asleep, arms hugging a pillow, mouth slightly open. Mom and Dad look at each other, shake their heads in disbelief. The sister holds her belly, giggling. Our little vegetable garden. Mom holds a packet of seeds and points to an empty patch of soil. The whole family gathers around, nodding excitedly. Dad uses a shovel, swings too hard, dirt flies everywhere. Bluey giggles. Bingo digs carefully with a small trowel. Mom hands out seeds. Bluey sprinkles way too many in one spot. Bingo places them one by one, neatly. Dad drops the whole seed packet. Everyone looks at the pile and laughs. Bluey grabs the hose. Strong spray. Dad gets soaked. Dad freezes, dripping wet. Bingo gently adjusts the nozzle. Soft water flows. The family crouches, staring at the soil. Nothing happens. Bluey pokes the dirt, peeking inside. Mom signals, "Hey!" Tiny green sprouts pop up. Everyone's eyes widen with joy. The family harvests a small bunch of vegetables. Dad proudly lifts a bundle. Dirt falls everywhere. Mom laughs. Bluey and Bingo jump with excitement.